today on It's Academic. Hello, everyone. I'm Hillary Howard. So glad you're with us today. This is the opening round, and you know how it works. Each team begins with 100 points, 10 up for a right answer, 10 down for a wrong answer. The teams here in the studio don't see what you do on the screens at home. Let's begin. It happened in May. The month of May is not just a pleasant spring month. It has seen its share of history. Please identify the following events, all of which took place in May. 1994, he was inaugurated as South Africa's Latin.
Mandela.
Mandela's right. 1796, this British doctor administered the first smallpox. Churchill.
Edward Jenner.
Yes. 1937, she won a Pulitzer Prize as author of Gone with the Wind. Churchill.
Mitchell.
Mitchell is it. 1888, there was a riot in this Chicago square. Latin.
Haymarket. Haymarket.
Haymarket is right. 1992, this number, constitutional amendment, the most recent, was ratified. Latin.
27.
27th is it. 1660, this Stuart king was restored to the British throne. Churchill.
Charles II.
That is correct. 1541, this Spanish explorer reached the Mississippi River. Churchill. Answer?
Coronado.
Nope, it's De Soto. 1775, Ethan Allen captured this British fort. Churchill.
Yeah, Fort Ticonderoga.
It is Fort Ticonderoga, and that's the end of the round.
It's Academic with Hillary Howard. Sponsored by Giant. New things are happening at Giant.
Welcome to It's Academic, everybody. This is another playoff game, so all of these teams are good. They won their first round matches. Let's meet them. We begin with Washington Latin from Washington, D.C. Eric Wright, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Eric Wright. I'm a 14-year-old freshman, and I'd like to thank our juggling club for coming out, as well as Allegra Haydam, our teammate, who couldn't make it today.
Wonderful. And Owen Wright, your brother. Owen, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'd like to thank... Sorry. Hello, I'm Owen Wright. I'm a 16-year-old junior, and I'd like to thank our amazing coach, Mr. Benjamin, for preparing us for today.
Wonderful. And Alex Crute, hi.
I'm Alex Crute. I'm a 15-year-old sophomore, and I would like to thank all of our alternates and friends and family for coming out to sports today.
All right, correct answers are worth 20 points, nothing off for a wrong answer. Patio dinette set. Hidden in this phrase is the name of which of the halogen elements?
Iodine.
Iodine is it. Smog harpies. The letters in this eerie phrase can be rearranged to name what scientific device that's used to measure earthquakes?
Seismograph.
That's it. Annelids, arachnids, aphids. A bookworm living in a book about worms would be living in a book about which of these?
The first one.
Yep, annelids is right. A caveman's weapon, a social organization. What same word fits both of these definitions?
Club.
Yes. I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and blank. To complete this famous quote from Winston Churchill, fill in the blank with what word that's a synonym for perspiration?
Sweat.
It is sweat. Good job, Washington Latin, with 230 points. From Potomac, Maryland, Churchill High School. First, we get to say hello to John Dorsey.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. I'm John Dorsey. I am a 16-year-old junior from Winston Churchill High School, and I would like to thank our alternate and team member, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Yash Nigam, hello.
Hi, my name is Yash Nigam, and I'm a 18-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank our amazingly dedicated coach, Mr. Hazard, and our substitute, Cheyenne.
Wonderful. And Michelle Ewan.
Hi, I'm Michelle Ewan. I'm a 17-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank our wonderful principal, Dr. Benz.
Very good. Here we go. Fur, also gems. Ignore these luxuries, and you can find here the name of what Russian mountain range that separates Europe from Asia?
Urals.
That's right. Tan linen cot. This phrase might suggest sleeping arrangements, but the letters can be rearranged to name what Congress in session during the American Revolution?
Continental. Continental.
Continental is right. Ibex, alpaca, gecko. Which of these creatures is not a mammal?
Gecko. Gecko.
Gecko is right. To join in a game, a drama, what same word satisfies both of these definitions?
Play.
Yep, that's it. I once heard him speak disrespectfully of the blank. To complete this dismissive comment by a 19th century writer, add what imaginary geographical line found at 0 degrees latitude?
Equator.
Equator is right. Churchill High School with 230 points. From Bethesda, Maryland, the gentleman from Landon School, Jaydeep Sangha. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
My name is Jaydeep Sangha. I'm a 15-year-old sophomore at Landon School. I'd like to thank our alternate Ayush Pamecha for coming to support us.
All righty, and Ben Levinson, hello.
Hi, I'm Ben Levinson. I'm an 18-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank our coach, Dr. Northcutt, who couldn't be here today.
Great, and Josh Engel.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm a junior at Landon, and I'd like to thank the jazz band, and a special thank you to Mr. Robinson and Mr. Jackson, our teachers.
All right, here we go, gentlemen. Yay! Extra cheap prices. There will be nothing cheap about this phrase if you find within it the name of what tube that carries air to your lungs.
Trachea. Trachea.
Trachea is right. Coasters. You can change this common noun into a proper one by rearranging the letters to name what ancient Greek philosopher who was forced to end his life by drinking hemlock.
Socrates.
Socrates it is. Snake, frog, butterfly. A chrysalis is important in the life cycle of which of these?
Butterfly.
Butterfly's right. Scarce, not well done. What same word satisfies both of these definitions? Answer? In 3, 2, 1. It's rare. No blank plot can be sensible. For in sensible situations, people do not sing. To complete this quote, add what type of elaborate musical performance associated with composers Verdi and Puccini? Answer?
Symphony.
Nope, opera. And that's it. It's the end of the round. We'll be right back. The sounds of the Landon Jazz Band. Always tight, always sounding good. Welcome back. Each contestant today will receive tickets to a Washington Nationals game. The season is underway, so plan to enjoy baseball at Nationals Park. To purchase tickets, visit nationals.com or call 888-632-NATS. And while they're off at the ballpark, please check out our Facebook page and like us, just like I love my new pen. Thank you so much, Randall Cunningham, who's in the audience today. He made this beautiful pen for me. Can you see it? It's really gorgeous. Up there it is, right? Really lovely craft work. So thank you so much, and thanks for being here today. Let's give him a round of applause. It's a nice pen. And he's with his mother-in-law, and they just had a baby. His wife had a baby, so a proud new dad and a proud new gram. All right, guys, it is time to dive into the picture-perfect round, but let's recap the scores first. Washington Latin 230, Churchill 230, and Landon 160 points. All right, here we go, guys. This black 19th century gown is decorated with what smooth black mineral whose name suggests a type of aircraft? Churchill. Answer in 3, 2, jet. It's jet. The remarkable mountains you see here are the Remarkables in what South Pacific country whose largest city is Auckland? Churchill.
New Zealand.
Yes. Here, the Yankees are celebrating a World Series win in what year? 2 years before the end of World War II. Churchill.
1943.
That's right. Evaluate this expression. Churchill.
20 million.
20 million is right. Though he usually was found behind the camera. This photograph is of what?
John Wilkes Booth.
Nope, Matthew Brady, Civil War photographer. This mountain is part of what Texas mountain range, whose name is joined with Hidalgo in the treaty ending? Churchill.
Guadalupe.
Yes. Used in making yellow glass. This is the pentoxide of what? Churchill.
Nitrogen.
Nope.
Vanadium.
No, well. They said nitrogen. Nope, sorry, it is vanadium. George Washington is conferring at Mount Vernon with what French nobleman who was a general in the American? Churchill.
Marquis de Lafayette.
Yes, that is correct, and that's the end of the round. Welcome back. It's time to meet the faculty and coaches that prepare these students for competition. Let's begin with Washington Latin Charter School. Owen, who's with you?
Hello, to my right is our coach, Mr. Ryan Benjamin, and to my left is our head of school, Miss Martha Ketz.
So good to have you guys here. First year on It's Academic, and we made it to the playoffs. From Potomac, Churchill High School, Yash, who's with you?
Hi, to my right is Mr. Hazard, our coach, and to my left is Dr. Benz, our principal.
Good to see you as always. And from Bethesda's Landon, Ben, who's with you?
To my right is our coach, Mr. Drescher, and to my left is our spiritual advisor, Mr. Cavoti.
Good to see you guys. All right, Washington Latin gets to answer some questions. Churchill will choose which envelope they choose questions from, 1, 2, or 3. What's
1.
it going to be? It's going to be 1. There are 8 questions. If you get all 8 right, there's a 25-point bonus. Oceanus was the fitting name given the only baby born on what ship that carried the Pilgrims across the ocean in 1620?
The Mayflower?
Yes. Ohio became a state in 1803, just before the U.S. made what huge land purchase that would eventually become many states?
The Louisiana Purchase?
Correct. Timothy Arthur's 19th century book, 10 Nights in a Barroom, gave a boost to what social movement that culminated in the 18th Amendment?
Prohibition?
That's right. Here's your science question. Latent heat, thermal pressure, caloric point. Which of these terms refers to the heat absorbed or released by a substance as it changes state? For example, from a solid to a liquid.
The first one?
Yep, latent heat is right. The Italian patriot Garibaldi considered his most significant military victory to be the conquest of what largest Italian island where Palermo is located?
Sicily?
You got it. A warning that the play contains violence might precede a televised version of what Shakespeare drama whose jealous title character murders his wife Desdemona?
Othello?
It is Othello. Here's your math question. Evaluate this expression, giving your answer as a positive integer.
1.
1 is it. Although he despaired that he had plowed the sea, what 19th century revolutionary known as the Liberator sowed the seeds of independence throughout South America?
Boulevard?
25-point bonus for Washington Latin Charter School. Okay, Churchill's turn. Landon, packet 2 or 3?
3.
3. First question. The first electronically designed U.S. postage stamp depicted sculptor Frederick Bartholdi with what large statue that lifts up her torch in New York Harbor?
Statue of Liberty.
That's it. In some versions of Sleeping Beauty, the princess is given what name? Linked to Borealis and the scientific name of the Northern Lights.
Aurora.
Aurora is it. You can visit Rome and Athens without leaving the U.S. because they are cities in what state? The southernmost of the original 13.
Georgia.
You're right. Science question. Neodymium, lithium, cobalt. Which of these is a rare earth metal used to make magnets so powerful they can respond to metals in printing ink and be used to detect counterfeit money?
The first one.
That's right, neodymium. The phrase angel of the battlefield was used to describe what Civil War nurse who later founded the American Red Cross?
Clara Barton.
Yes. Radio communications via satellite were predicted decades ago by what science fiction author of 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Clark.
Clark is right. Here's your math question. Evaluate this expression, giving your answer as a positive integer.
50.
50 is it. General Pershing, who successfully led soldiers in World War I, had been unsuccessful in 1916, pursuing what Mexican bandit nicknamed Pancho?
Pancho Villa.
25-point bonus for Churchill. Packet number 2 for Landon. The Spooner Act of 1902 did not concern spoons, but allowed the U.S. to scoop up the authority to build what Central American waterway?
Panama Canal.
Yeah. 7 different cities in Greece claim to have been the birthplace of what ancient poet, the author of the Iliad?
Homer.
Yes, it's Homer. The wreckage of President Kennedy's World War II boat, PT-109, was finally located near what Pacific islands named for a wise biblical king?
Okay, Guadalcanal.
Nope, Solomon Islands. Here's your science question. Ileum, colon, epiglottis. Which of these terms refers to a part of the small intestine that absorbs digested foods?
Ilium.
Yes, you're right. Citizens of Mendoza, Argentina, named their Festival of the Vineyards for what Roman god, who, like Dionysus, is usually pictured with grapes?
Bacchus.
Bacchus it is. A benevolent monarchy forms the ideal government in what imaginary country that titles a major work by Sir Thomas More?
Utopia.
Yep, it's Utopia. Here's your math question. Solve for y if x equals 3. Answer?
26.
Nope, it's -10. Vice presidents don't always agree with the chief executive, but what vice president was so opposed to Andrew Jackson's policies that he resigned in 1832?
Clay.
Nope, John Calhoun. But good job, and that's the end of the round. We'll be right back. Time for the grab bag round. Let's get this going. Here's your first question. 14 construction workers were killed during the building of what Manhattan skyscraper, which also Churchill?
Empire State Building. Empire State Building.
That's right. Russia was the birthplace of what science fiction author whose works include Foundation's Edge? Churchill?
Asimov.
That's right. As a young man, Christopher Columbus worked in the Azores Islands, a buyer of what commodity whose general formula is C12H22O11? Churchill?
Sugar.
Sugar is right. On your screens for 30 points. Stonehenge, England's great megalithic monument is located on what plain in southern? Churchill?
Salisbury.
That's it. What trigonometric function is defined as the adjacent side?
Cosine.
Yeah, cosine. Thank you for saving me. None of our states has the letter Q in its name, but there are 2 Qs in the name of what largest city in New Mexico? Churchill?
Albuquerque.
Yes. Even if you can't visit the White House, you'll find a picture of it on the back of what denomination of money that also pictures Andrew Jackson? Latin.
The $20 bill.
That is right. On your screens for 30 points. Gentlemen, the battle is done. The victory is ours. These were the last words of what American admiral who years earlier had won the Battle of Manila Bay? Churchill.
Dewey.
Dewey is right. The expression, the mother of Canada, refers to what river that played an important part? Churchill.
St. Lawrence.
You've got it. Choice. When 10 calories of thermal energy are added to 10 grams of water, the temperature of the water, Latin.
Raised by 1 degree.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. There was little love lost between Thomas Jefferson and what fourth Chief Justice? Churchill.
John Marshall.
John Marshall is right. On your screens for 30 points. In the foreground here are Lord Geoffrey Amherst and what other English general whose troops were victorious on the plains of Abraham? Churchill. Answer. Answer? Need it.
Wolfe.
Wolfe is right, and that's the end of the game. All right, the scores are now official. We begin with Landon, Josh, Ben, and J-Deep with 260 points. Washington Latin Charter School, Alex, Owen, and Eric with 455 points. And coming back for the semifinals, Churchill High School, Michelle, Yash, and John with 685 points. Make sure you tune in next week for another playoff match with Jefferson, Osborne Park, and St. Anselm's. Until then, I'm Hillary Howard. So glad you were with us. Everybody else, come on down.